All right, howdy, friends. Good evening. It is evening time. I got a bowl of rice and pork chops. It's really hot right now, so while it's cooling down a little bit, I'm gonna punch out a blog real quick. So this is what is gaslighting? That's a sincere question. I've got some speculations on it, from understandings of it. Let's say, which I'm always open to change my understandings and whatnot. But what is gaslighting? And I'm gonna share my 2 cents on what gaslighting is and how I came up to that. Where I'm at my current understanding of it. But this is something that because I used the word not too long ago and somebody asked me, what is your understanding of it? And then this just came up. So a day ago, this is on a video. No tears shed over Ethan Klein's YouTube suspension. This is from Ben Shapiro. And I had commented, I remember Jordan Peterson warning him of Ethan Klein about how that shit works. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, LOL, smiley face, kind of thing, right? You're right. Jordan did warn him. He, of course, didn't listen. That's from John here. John said, or then I said back to John, I'm gonna read through this quickly and then I'm offering my thoughts. I'm trying to do it quick. I need to release that. John said, or I said back to John, some folks are simply far too self-righteous to hear their fellow human. Some folks are just too self-righteous to hear their fellow human. It's okay though. It's all right. Seriously, we're always on time. We're doing fine, humans, fellows. We're doing great. It's okay. We'll keep getting new opportunities to learn. And this, okay, so this guy Fox, I don't know what this person Fox jumps in and says, so crazy how people act like the Peterson tweet was a prophecy and not just some simply pattern recognition and common sense. I don't know. Okay, so I'm like, I don't know about folks idolizing Peterson. This is my response to Fox's comment that I just read to you. I don't know about folks idolizing Peterson. That sounds like what you're attempting to suggest. And if that's supposed to be some kind of passive aggressive comment to me, which is reasonable to suspect since you did make your comment under mine versus in the main thread. But if that's the case, I'd say gaslight elsewhere, sweetheart. If anything about it seems crazy to me, it's how Ethan was so ignorant to not see this coming. Even when folks were pointing it out to him. Talk about ignorant. Word? Winky face there. Now, again, let me just to point this out. This is a 12 replies thing under my comment. Here's the thread of comments under Ben Shapiro's video. This is the 12 thread replies in mine. So he wasn't commenting on the overall conversation. That was a comment into my comment, right? So fair, I would argue, I would suggest it's fair to me to however I said it, if that's some kind of passive aggressive comment to me, which is reasonable to suspect since you did make your comment under mine. Fox replies back, do you even know what gaslighting is? Maybe look it up before throwing the term just anywhere. Doesn't put you in a smart light. This is a common type of an argument, right? A lot of presuppositions in this, right? And yeah, it is crazy how he gets Ethan Klein gets into these situations and acts shocked. But that could just be part of the. Oh, I don't know what he means by this here. That could just be part of the bit of the towing the line, seeing as he still has a platform and audience. I don't know, Fox. I'm going to put this in the comments here just to, hey, I'm using our conversation as a jumping point to a bigger conversation that has already been on my mind. This is just timing, kind of a thing, because the gaslight conversation's one that was going to make the blog at some point anyway. So now it's good time as any. I want to take another bite, but I'm reading here. That could be just part of the bit. I don't know what he means by that. But towing the line. And my first thought when I was thinking about it because this was this morning, 21 hours ago, it's Sunday morning. He edited it. So I don't know what. Oh, I don't see. Can you see?
And there is
no, you can't see. Okay. Well. All right. Well, I don't know what I actually responded to now then, because he edited. And I do know I edited one of mine too. It was just a typo though. And I'll point that out here in a moment. Oh, the towing the line part though, being that he still has a platform. That's how I remember him saying it. Or how I remember reading it by the time I'd seen it. The towing the line part, I don't know what that meant. I was speculating that meant like a sellout kind of a comment. If it was referring to Ethan Klein being a sellout, towing the line, like whose line are you towing? I don't know. I'm speculating. I've no context to what that meant. Or the saying F around and find out, ha ha ha, as somebody else says, simply unless. KJ says it's for 1 week, he'll survive. Yeah, amen. Right on. I responded back to, so Fox had asked me, do you even know what gaslighting is? And this was my response back 13 hours after. This was after church and all of that. Because this one, Gaslight Elsewhere, my bath was drawing. I was getting ready to jump in the shout in the bath and bathe before going to church this morning when I had written this one, Gaslight Elsewhere. It was very quick. I just saw it. Boom, whatever. Oh, is that the one I had typos in? No, I didn't. One of them I edited and it was just for a typo. This one. Okay, so gaslighting. He asked me, do you even know what it means? Let me tell you what you mean. Gaslighting. Don't trust yourself. Gaslighting. Basically, and I've used that. Let me tell you what I mean. So at the end of the day, that's essentially what gaslighting looks like and how it shows up in the world today. I understand the term started with a story of some asshole fucking with the lights and drove his wife crazy. But my 2 quotes above are my best boil it down summary of how gaslighting shows up. You acting like I was idolizing Peterson by pointing out an error in Ethan's ways felt like you were trying to tell me where I'm coming from. And that feels like gaslighting. And that feels like gaslighting. Am I wrong? If so, please correct me. Sincerely, I'm not attempting to be an asshole here, just playing along with you, homie. And so he says back, so where in that comment did I tell you what you mean in quotations right here, or told you not to trust yourself? Fair question, right? Because I put them in quotes up here, and that's not a quote for him. Show more replies. Oh, that's a whole nother comment here. Because I'm not a horrible person, it made me giggle. Way to go, Ben. That was a different comment in the main thread there. So this is the little thread here with me and Fox playing along here. So Fox asked me, so where in that comment did I tell you what you mean or told you not to trust yourself? Hey, thanks for asking. I'm sorry. Sometimes much can get lost in translation when communicating via written word like this. I put those remarks in quotations, not to suggest they were quotes from our conversation. I put those quotes in, or those lines in quotations in an attempt to summarize the energy of what gaslighting is. I was trying to explain my understanding of what gaslighting was. You had asked me if I knew what gaslighting is. And that was my attempt to explain what I believe gaslighting to be and the sentiment of how it shows up in conversation. The sentiment, not a direct quote from you, just the essence of gaslighting per my estimation. This part here is what I'd like to ask you about. I just copied it from my previous comment to ask again, which is what I'd said a moment ago. You acting like I was idolizing Peterson by pointing out an error in Ethan's ways felt like you were trying to tell me where I'm coming from. That feels like gaslighting. Side note, I did correct my typo. I forgot. I did actually address that. That's hilarious. If Fox replied back, LOL, yeah, it's really not that deep. I was commenting about how people act like it was a groundbreaking thought or a warning rather than just plain old common sense. Yeah, word, but there was, I'm not saying that this cat was gaslighting in that thing there per se, because he backed off of the stance there. But in the beginning there, when I'm saying this guy did a foolish thing, and then you see this in politics and a lot of things, right? This guy did a foolish thing. So does that mean that you're all about this guy, blah, blah, you like the asshole of characteristics of this human? Those are not connected. You know what I mean? So my thoughts on gaslighting. So here is a playlist, and I'll link this playlist for anybody interested in learning or making a study of what gaslighting is. So as you see on my screen right here, there's 101 videos in this playlist. The first one starts off right here. I don't know if I am in the word over here. I don't know if that just moved me over or not. One of the playbacks, I was just in the corner small the whole time, but this video right here this is something you probably didn't know was gaslighting. How to spot the hidden signs someone is gaslighting. 10 warning signs of gaslighting, gaslighting tactics, and how to stop them. 3 simple steps to handle being gaslighted. How to deal with gaslighting. The early signs you're dating a narcissist and how do they fool you. Now, so this is 101 videos. Just look through here as you see, right? Like, and again, I'm going to link this playlist down here. Every single one of these videos I have watched. I'm not going to tell somebody else's story. I'm not, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it's all right. So let me take a bite and I'm going to tell a story. I should have looked at the time just to see, but I don't care. My food was hot when I started, and I thought I would just do this real quick and then still eat a warm meal, but I'm gonna have to put it in the mic. So let me just do this real quick. So I remember making mental note, like, I heard it on something. I was walking through the house here, something was playing, and the term gaslighting was used. Now, the sentiment of what that video was saying was not lost on me because I had the benefit of context. So I knew what they were saying, but I also made mental note to myself that I don't know this word. I want to learn this. I want to find out what this word is. I've heard the word gaslighting. I'm just not familiar with it. I've never made a study. I don't know what the word is, but that was it. That was as far as I went. It's like, oh, I want to hear that. But because again, the sentiment that the video was offering was not lost on me because I had the benefit of context. It was just a thing like, oh, I want to learn what that is, right? I never went any past that. I never actually did a Google or whatever. Like, what is gaslighting? Asked the Google stuff and whatever. So I don't want to say it because my computer might start asking. I'm listening. But so fast forward, I was in a conversation with a beautiful human, and she accused me of gaslighting, and I was like, oh, I gotta find out what this is. I don't, you know what I mean? Now, so this human accused me of gaslighting, and this was the last conversation we'd ever had to date. Still, maybe ever, who knows? But as soon as we were done with that conversation, I wanted to find out what the shit gaslighting was because I was just accused of it. Like, all right, what is this? And so I started making a study, and that study turned into the 101 and other videos. By the time I started making a playlist, I was like, oh, other people are going to benefit from that. Actually, they might all be in there because I had the benefit of going into my YouTube history and adding stuff in there, But I started the playlist because I'm not the only one who wants to know what gaslighting is. You know what I mean? It needs to know. Like, I would suggest we all need to know what gaslighting is. But that's when I started learning about narcissism and all this other stuff. And there's a particular route that a narcissistic one runs, right? Like the love bombing in the beginning, the devaluing phase, and whatever. They create flying monkeys. Whatever. All the things. If you watch those 101 videos, you'll know what I was just referencing when all of these are just common phrases, the smart people, the doctors, and the whatnots, the studied ones in those fields that the like gaslighting is it's a term. Some asshole was fucking with the lights and literally drove his wife crazy. Don't trust yourself was the essence. It was when you boil it all down to me. That's so. I showed you the playlist. One, I have made a study. Fox, I have made a study. I went to YouTube University, right? I don't have a degree, whatever, but motherfucker, I made a study. You know what I mean? Like, and I say that because the way he said it right there, this is that self-righteous stuff, man. Like, bro, you don't know me at all. You don't know my history. You don't know anything about me. You don't know the YouTube University I went to. But you see this argument. It was at the beginning of the conversation there when I said gaslight elsewhere, sweetheart. Gaslight elsewhere, sweetheart. Do you even know what gaslighting is? Maybe look it up before you throw the term just anywhere. Doesn't put you in a smart light. And I'm not saying I'm a smart fella, put me in a smart light, but motherfucker, I made a study. I did look it up. I got 101 fucking videos right here compiled together that I watched every God blessed one of them. So You're gaslighting. You're telling me I don't know something. Why don't you? This is a way of summarizing gaslight that I really need to include in this conversation here. You can seek to understand, or you can gaslight. You can't, there's not, you're not doing both, one or the other. I would advise it would behoove you in your relationships with yourself and the world around you and your world and the world to develop a habit of seeking first to understand. Ask, what do you mean by that? Not to lump people up and to say, oh, this means this and this means this. Just some 2 cents. So yeah, seek to understand or gaslight, one or the other, not both. I think that was the main point. Yeah, and also too, hey, tell me what you think. What is the definition of gaslighting? Am I way off? Because again, I think it boils down to don't trust yourself. The term, the woman was driven crazy because she learned not to trust herself. She put her trust in an asshole, her husband. Her husband was an asshole. I don't know what the background story was, what his motivations for being an asshole was, what kind of wounded soul that was, why he turned out the way he did, or what kind of fucked up weirdo that man was. I don't know anything about that. The takeaway was the husband was fucking with the lights back when lights were gas fed. It was like a propane, whatever kind of a thing. He was fucking with the lights, and no, they're the same. What are you talking about, honey? She did not trust herself. Don't trust your witness. Don't trust what you're observing. Don't trust yourself. Trust this person. Feels dangerous. Oh, one other thing I want to share. I'm gonna pull this up because this is worthy of pulling up. We're on the Shorty Does Life world. What's going on here? What's going on here? Does life. I'll just go here. I was gonna go straight to the blog. It's called Joke, or straight to that post. But I want you to be able to find it. Can you take a joke? I'm gonna go right here. The real issue here. Dear child, never let anyone tell you what you mean or what's in your heart. Dear child, always know that nobody can tell you what's in your heart. They can seek to understand you, or they can try and gaslight you, one or the other, not both. Beware of gaslighting. Learn what it is. I have a playlist down below, 101 videos you can look at that by doctor type folks, experts. Learn what it is and notice it when a self-righteous one attempts it on you. So if some clown starts telling you about you and the shit they're talking ain't your truth, please be strong and courageous enough to let them know they can fuck right off. Okay, that's it. Appreciate you tuning in. I love you. Love means to see the good, by the way. That's what it means. So I love you. I love my life. I love myself. I love this experience. I see the good in this. I would suggest we want to develop the habit of truly loving ourselves, loving our neighbor, loving everything around us. Doesn't mean, in fact, it does mean be willing to check behavior that is not tolerable to you. Boundaries are important. And also, if you love someone and you care about them, be willing to check some of their silliness as well, right? I mean, be willing to. Now, see, all right, I just saw it was a hand raise. Oh, is this thing reading hand gestures or something? Okay, so on my vlogs, if you watch my last couple episodes, I keep getting like, what is that? What is it? There's something flashing. That wasn't touching anything. It was a hand raise up. There it is. It did it again. It is. Okay, so it's got some. Oh, this Italian boy moving his hands so much. I can't make it do it. I don't know how to make it do it. There it is. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, whatever. Okay, if you've watched the last couple of episodes, I think the last 2 or 3 episodes, I'm like, what is that? There's something that flashes and then it goes right away. But it was so quick, I couldn't tell what it was. It's inside of Zoom. Evidently, it's reading my hand motions. And all right, hold on. It's got a little going around. Oh, that's neat. You can raise your hand in Zoom by literally raising your hand. I did not know that. Oh, what was I saying? Love, see the good, man. Look, we're all human. Every blessed one of us. Put down that stone, sweetheart, and look at your home. It too is made of glass. You know what I mean? I don't know. There was a point where I was going at before I discovered what that little flash thing was. Oh, that is so neat. Anyway, it's just neat that I discovered it because it's been on the vlog. I know it's been on at least the last 2 episodes. So I'm like, well, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna close it out in the aggressive way, and I wish that I had the last one. I said, namaste. Namaste means the God in me recognizes the God in you. The light in me recognizes the light in you. The awesome in me, whatever label we want to use for that. The I am that we are all of, I would argue, I would suggest. I believe we're individualized expressions of the one. I believe we're all united as one in truth and reality. The word ego means separate. That's what it means. I have an egoic perspective that makes me separate from you. I don't believe that's our real truth. I don't believe that's but it's a thing that we're experiencing right now though too. I mean, my jurisdiction is here, right? I have no jurisdiction over your life experience, whatever. I'm very clear on that. Watch my no emotional healing one. I think I made that one clear. No emotional healing for you. That was named after in my head with the soup Nazi from Jerry Seinfeld. No soup for you. Anyway, yeah. Namaste, motherfuckers.